Hello, today we're talking about how sexual transmutation can lead to erectile dysfunction. First up, if you're not sure what sexual transmutation is, there's a video, one of my videos explains that in more detail. I'll put a link to that in the comments. So if you'd like to understand a bit more about it, just head there and watch that. It will make sense. I will explain a bit about it today anyway, but this video is going to be about how when we overextend, when we put too much focus on sex, how that can lead to things just going wrong, and specifically erection struggles or a dead bedroom, which is actually far more common than we realize. Just not many people talk about it, particularly guys. So I'm here to change that and to help you, to give you the tools that have worked for me to be able to fix this and avoid a dead bedroom. Okay, so why are we doing this? Well, if you take on what I am about to tell you and the guidance, the learnings that I've had that I'm about to share with you, this will give you a new set of information to be able to move forward and fix this. The alternative really is to continue experiencing erection problems, or perhaps consider taking a set of pills that you don't want to for life, or experiencing this permanent dead bedroom, which nobody wants that. You know, that's the alternative. So where did I get this from? Well, there was a book that I read called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. This was the first time that I ever heard about sexual transmutation. That helped me to understand what it was and how powerful it is. So I'm going to break it down very quickly. Sexual energy is basically sex desire, right? The desire that we have to want to procreate, to continue the human race. That's where it comes from. But when we see somebody attractive, that feeling that we have of desire, this is sex energy. So it's very, very powerful. It's not something we can put our hands on or touch or feel in terms of the energy, but it's there, and most of us feel that. And it is possible to channel that energy in a way that helps us move forward in our life. And it's also possible to channel that energy in a negative way and either spend too much time on the activity or too much time focused on what if I don't get it right, what if it goes wrong. And that's our mental energy, but in the arena of sex, in the act of sex. If I'm thinking, what if I can't get hard, what if I can't stay hard, this is my energy that I'm channeling in, and it's related to sex. So this is sexual transmutation, is taking that sex energy and what do we do with it? Do we use it in a positive way that builds intimacy and connection and passion in our relationships? Or do we use it in a way that destroys and creates anxiety, creates fear, and creates tension? And that's what I would like to talk to you about today. Why are we doing this? Why are we talking about this? So that you can fix erection problems and avoid a dead bedroom. So how does it happen? How can we start overextending and putting too much energy or the wrong type of energy into sex? Well, there's a few different ways that we can do it. One is through watching too much porn, and over time, of course, we get more and more addicted, maybe one term, or just finding it more and more difficult to leave or come away from porn. And of course, then we're messing up with our dopamine, the chemical dopamine in our body. I won't go into that part specifically today, but you're probably familiar with the cycle that porn creates there. But that it can also happen in other areas of our life, right? If we put too much of our time and energy into work, and then there's a load of stress that's developed around that, that impacts our sexual energy. So for me, I believe one out of two things can happen. If you're experiencing erection problems, I believe one out of two things can happen. Actually, there's three. Three could be that it's a medical issue, okay? But we're going to discount the medical issue because most of the time it's psychological. If it's a medical issue, a doctor's the right place. If it's psychological, you're in the right place right now. So one out of two things can happen when it's psychological. The first is that I'm spending more of my energy in a different area of my life. Maybe it's work, maybe it's that I'm drinking, maybe it's that I'm not eating good food to try and feel safe, to try and feel comfortable. and that is impacting my sex life. So that's the first. The second is that something's gone wrong in my sex life because I've spent too much time and energy focused on it. So that may be porn, it may be previous past hookups that I've had, it may be sexual experiences that released a lot of dopamine at the time. So what I mean by this is experiencing something that was perhaps a bit more kinky or a bit more extreme, or maybe it's watching something that's done that, and it's really caused an imbalance of chemicals in our body. So these are the two ways that I believe is possible for us to create erection struggles, dependent on where we're putting our energy into something outside of sex, and it's now taken too much of the energy focused on the other thing, and so it's impacting our relationship, or focused too much on sex and sexual activity and chasing that kind of thing, and so we've over invested too much in that, and now it's impacting our relationship. So those are the two areas that I believe this can happen with, and ultimately the outcome is still the same thing, that it causes erection struggles and a dead bedroom. So the next thing is, what do we do about it? It's okay, great knowing that information, but what do we do? And the first step really is to identify what are those potential areas that I'm spending too much time or too much of my energy in, and how do I begin to rebalance those? There's a tool that I use, and it is very effective in doing that. It takes about 15 minutes to go through together. So what I will do is put the link below so that you can schedule a free 15-minute call with me. We'll go through this tool together. I call it the sex wheel, and it really just helps us to quickly identify where are those areas in life where you may have maybe overextending this energy, and that ultimately it gives us then a very clear view of what is causing the erection challenge, so that we can fix it and so that you can avoid dead bedroom. So if that sounds good to you, it's a free session, no obligations after that to do anything. This is about sharing a tool with you that I know works. Just click the link below, schedule the free 15-minute session, pick a time that's good for you, and we'll get cracking. Okay, thank you.